Hey everybody, wanted to jump on tonight and talk about some lessons that I've learned over the last couple of days that kind of struck me in a way that I didn't really anticipate. So I'll be super curious if you can relate to this on any level, regardless of what your career, your profession is. But I think it's something that a lot of people might hit home with. So today is the first day since Saturday that I have left my house. I mentioned in a live I did last night, I was super sick, had this really awful virus, but got out today, went to a networking event, really feeling good about getting back to work and everything. So that's not what I want to talk about though. But in all of that, I have lost about 10 pounds in the last 5 days just from having this virus. And again, it kind of gave me a different perception and a different time to step back and think. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about. So I have owned my own business in some capacity since almost 2010. So that's a really long time. I've been employed intermittently on and off, kind of combination of doing my own thing and being like a solo personal trainer, but also in a gym, and being full-time employed, but also having my own businesses. So I've been doing this for a while now. And there are so many great things that come with being a business owner. I can't imagine going back and working in an office now. And I wouldn't trade being an entrepreneur for the world. But I find, and I don't know if it's like this for all of you, so let me know if it is, if you can relate to this, just post in the comments as I'm talking here. But I find that I have an incredible amount of internal pressure that I put on myself to do and to achieve. And that can be really, really challenging for me personally. And so, if you're in the entrepreneurial world, you're probably seeing a lot of that hustle motivation, and I'm working on the weekends and that kind of thing. And I get really caught up in not feeling good enough or not feeling like I'm doing enough if I don't do those things too. And so the last couple of days really gave me a good opportunity to reconnect with what my values are. And when I do life coaching with people or whatever it is, helping people really connect with what their values are in order to make a plan for their business, their life, whatever, is a top priority. And I kind of lost that for myself a little bit. And so what I've identified as my primary values are autonomy, time freedom, location freedom. All of those things mean far more to me than money does, than status does, any of those things. And so I've kind of reached this place in my life where I have those things, and I am living a life that is aligned with my personal values and the things that I kind of want to do and experience every day, which is really cool. But it gives me sometimes this simultaneous feeling of freedom, and yes, I achieved this thing that I wanted, but also guilt at the same time, which is kind of strange. And I think that goes back to kind of the idea that when we own businesses, there's always something else you can do, right? You can build that sales funnel, you can write that email, you can call that person, you can have that meeting. And so, and I've experienced this particularly when I owned my gym too, that it's very hard for me to turn off. Almost impossible, in fact. And so what I believe is that this virus, which was debilitating, was a gift, because it made me stop and think. And this is the second time I've been sick like this in 2018. And I never get these things even once a year, let alone twice in 2 months. So I really think it was the universe telling me to step back and really reflect on what's important to me. So I know, if you can relate to this, let me know if you're a business owner, this intense guilt and internal pressure when you're not doing, right? Or having this maybe nasty dialogue in your head if you step back or have a day away or relax. And those things were happening to me as I was literally incapacitated on my couch. I was saying, you're just lying here, you could be doing something. I started feeling like I was getting really far behind. Then I felt really guilty for not going to the gym, which wasn't even possible, and nobody would want me there anyway with my germs. But like I thought, well, I'm losing my muscles, and so I was having all of these kind of nasty dialogues about myself in my own head. And meanwhile, I'm like lying there with fever and in pain and all kinds of stuff. And I'm still having this dialogue with myself. And this sickness reminded me, and I've had this conversation with my life coach as well, that I'm often extremely hard on myself to the point of not being nice to myself. And again, I think that comes with being a high achiever and wanting to affect a lot of people and wanting to have a successful business. But what it reminded me, being sick like this, what it reminded me was that I'm not very good at kindness to myself and compassion toward myself. And so it occurred to me, like in day 3 maybe, that I should stop being so ridiculous and just accept this for what it is and know that it's going to pass and know that the work is going to be there. And I did manage to actually get some stuff done after the first 2 days, but it also reminded me that managing my own stress levels and that internal pressure, like I was talking about, is super important, because if I don't, it's what I wrote in the description, it creates this like freedom that turns into an internal prison almost. And I'm being super honest here. And it's crazy because, again, I've created the life that I want to live. I have the time freedom. I have the autonomy. I have the location freedom. I have a great house. I have everything I need, yet I don't have always this peace of mind. And it's that inner peace that I'm really in search of at this point, because, again, can always do more. So yeah, I think this is kind of a message from the universe reminding me that it's going to be okay. There's never been a time in my life where I haven't moved forward, where I haven't gotten stuff done, where I haven't figured things out. And, it also reminded me that, I still had some sales come in while I was sick. And, it made me really grateful that I have a business that works and that, I didn't have to call into work, and I didn't have to take sick days, and I don't have to make stuff up because it is on my schedule anyway. And so working for myself in a lot of ways is, all those good things, but can be more challenging because of that internal pressure. So can any of you relate to that? If you own a business, I don't care if you're an internet marketer, network marketer, if you own a gym, if you're a personal trainer, if you have a retail shop, whatever that looks like, or your own practice of some kind, because it really, really is easy to kind of have this go, go, go attitude. And that's what's messaged to entrepreneurs is, hashtag hustle on everything. And really, I want to, in life, be able to, not the last couple of days because it's been really cold, but, be able to go up into the mountains with my dogs at any given time. I want to be able to go to a conference, in the middle of the week if I want to do that. I want to be able to go to a concert on a weeknight and not have to worry about getting up early. And at the same time, those are things I want for myself, but I really want to affect other people, whether that's through life coaching, whether that's through my content business where I help people grow their businesses and build genuine relationships with people, whether that's through spreading my message about cryptocurrency because I'm so passionate about the humanitarian causes that is in support of. And so at the end of the day, I think my business mentor, she asked me what I wanted to be able to say when I was on my deathbed, and I didn't really have an answer, but I think it's just that inner peace, right? And so, I've been in the realm of entrepreneurship now for 8 years, and it's just now hitting me that, okay, I need to manage the work side and then the me side, because it's always hardest to manage ourselves. And even though I would consider myself a high achiever, I need to learn to be nicer to myself and kinder to myself and do the things that I would tell life coaching clients to do. So again, I'm not sure if this is all making sense, but I just wanted to put that out there because I think that there's not always a lot of transparency around entrepreneurship. Remember, I said there's the messaging around hustling and, we're seeing laptop lifestyle and palm trees and, all of that stuff. And then there is this other side of it where we have so much to gain, and that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. So that's kind of what I wanted to share tonight. I have a lot of entrepreneur friends, everything from gym owners and personal trainers, lots of those on here, to, again, internet marketers and such. And so I'm just hoping to be a voice of compassion for any of you who may suffer from that same kind of high achiever, not very nice to yourself sometimes syndrome. And even though it felt completely miserable, I really do think that this virus was a gift in a lot of ways because it forced me to step back and confront this dialogue, right? And see things a little bit more clearly for what they are. So again, if you can relate to any of this on any level, I would love to hear from you. And Zeno, you should have invited me over. I could have helped you lose a few pounds over the last couple days. No problem. And thank you, Michelle and whoever else commented on here. But appreciate anybody who was watching and love to hear your feedback and hope everybody has a fantastic night.